Hey all, hope you're doing great. This is Happy. Welcome back to the new coding recipe. Today I'm going to share you about JavaScript object notation, simply JSON. So let's dive in. As you can see here, this is my JSON object and I'm assigning it to this const boom. So if you relate with structures in C language, in that language we have something called struct and the name, and in the braces we define whatever variables that we want. So I can relate with that, and also if I want to relate something in Java, just a class having some methods and some variables. So in that kind of relation I'm just trying to and make you understand about JSON. So a JSON object is something like having some key value pairs. So this id is a key, and with respect to that this is the value. So key value pair thing, you can have anything. You can have an integer, you can have a string, you can have a function, you can have an array, you can have one more object. This is the nested object of this boom. So you can put anything in the form of key and value pair style in your JSON. So if I print this boom, what I'm gonna get? So CLS and node.js, and this is my node terminal. So I'm printing this, I'm getting these things, and the function is boo. As you can see, I defined the key as boo, and the function's name is also boo. So if it has function heyo and I am returning I am funk. So if I try to run this thing, I'm sorry. So as this is not anonymous function, but it has some name. So boo is holding heyo function. If I don't give this function name and if I define it like anonymous function, it takes the key name itself as its function name. So yeah, so if I want to access these things, how will I access? There are two ways. One is with dot, just like your struct in C language, dot id. And if I do CLS and if I'm trying to run this again, I'm getting id. And if I want to put name, I'm able to see this thing. And if I want to run that particular boo function, I will do boo and I will run this thing. So what I'm getting, it's returning me the function. That's not the function call, but it's returning me the reference. So to call some function, what we need to do? We need to put those open and closed parentheses. So beside this boo, I'm gonna put this thing. So it has become a function call. And if I run this, I'm able to see I am funk. So in the same way, if I want to see my array, I'll do arr, and this is my array. And if I want to see my address, so done. And if I want to access pin code, I need to go one more level deep into this address object. So I need to put a dot and pin code. So if I run this, I'm able to see 1 2 3 4 5. If I didn't give the right name, pin code and something ASDF, it will give me undefined because there is no such key, and so it's an undefined thing. So the another way is, so let me clear this part. And in this square brackets, you can give your a key in the form of string. So I have id and I'm getting 1, and in the form of string I am giving. If I have name, I'm giving the key in the form of string and it gives me that particular thing. So if I want to access dynamically, in the sense as I am mentioning this name, but if I'm storing this in a const key equals to string name, I can directly give key. So I'm getting happy, and if I change to id, I'm getting my 1 back. But the dynamic thing only works within the square brackets. If you put this dot thing, it can't take. Why? Because it don't compile this, but it searches for one more key in the object key. So it gives me undefined, as you can see. So for the sake of more clarity, I'll put hey. So if I do this, so there is no naming convention problem. So this is searching for the key hey in the boom object, but there is no hey in the boom object, the key in the boom object, and it gives me undefined. But the moment I wrap it with my square brackets, it considers hey as a variable, and it gets what's in the variable of hey, and there is id here, and it gets compiled and gives me id 1. So this is one way, and also you can compile at this level also, but this is not required. I'm using my string literals backticks, and if I put hey, even this works. So same thing, I'll get my 1 here, and if I change this to name, I'm getting my name happy. So same thing works with nested also. So as of now I have this thing, right? Key, I'll put, instead of name, I'm going to access address. In that address I'll put dot, and I'll put dno, which is door number. So I'm going to get 1 2 3. Okay, what's the problem here? Acha, I gave key, but I should give hey. So let me clear this cls and run this. I'm getting my 1 2 3. Boom hey is accessing address, because in hey it has address string, and in that I kept dot and accessing dno, which is door number. Or else I can do this one also. So instead of const hey yo equals to dno, and if I put hey yo here, it's gonna give me the same 1 2 3. So this is to access your keys and get the values by using this thing. So if you want the whole keys as a set of array, or if you want the whole values as a set of array, you can do actually use built-in functions. Object dot keys, if I do object dot keys, and I need to give which object. So if I do this, and let me console this, console.log, cls, I'm getting array of keys. See, id, name, city, address. And but mind it, I'm not getting what? This nested objects keys. I'm just getting this thing. If I want to get that, I need to give boom dot address. Then I'll get dna, area, and pin code. Sorry, dno, door number. See, so it only takes the high level things, in the sense it don't go to the nested keys. It goes only to the high level in the sense which object can see. This is a key, this is a key, and I can see as a key, but at this level it's a nested, so I can't take that with this object dot keys. I need to be more specific to get that particular nested objects keys also. Same happens with object dot values. What keys is giving me? Keys is giving me all the keys, but values will give me all the values. So let me show you. Let me remove this address at this level and also at here. So let me remove this dot also. Yep, and cls. See, I have my keys and I have my values, which is one, happy, hide, the function, array, and an object. So this thing, right? So if I want to be more specific about values, I need to put boom dot address. So then it gives me what? The values of this thing. At this level, I'm printing the keys of the boom. At this level, I'm printing the values of address. I'm being more specific. And one more thing, if you want to loop, there is something called for in. So for const key in boom is object, right? So I'm giving boom, and in this I'm gonna console.log. What I'll be consoling is I'm using backticks. One is key, and I will also console the value. So boom, let me put this dollar boom of that key. So it's giving me key and boom of key. So key is holding the ID, and the second time it holds name. So it only runs. You need not to put any length condition, something like that. It only checks that. So if I run this, so I'm able to see ID and 1, name and happy, city and hide. So I'm able to see this. So this is just to loop. So it doesn't give you anything as a return. If you want to store, you need to do having a one more array, and you need to do array.push and all that. So, but this thing is just giving me a loop. I mean, in the sense it's just to loop and check what all is there in your object. But this thing, object.values or object.keys, will give you in an array new reference. So if you want to get array of things of your values or keys, use this object.keys and object.values. And if you want to just loop, then this could be better using this way. So, and one more thing is, we saw from this object we are getting keys and we're getting values, but how to make an object by passing keys and values. So I need to pass a key and value, and it should create its own object. So there is one function for that, which is object dot from entries. So let's see that. As you can see here, I have an array which is key vals. In this array, there is a one more small array. In this, one is key and the other is value. And in the second array, in the sense id1, this is one field, key value pair. And even at this level, key value pair. So key and value, but I am giving in the form of arrays. So even at here, boo is a key and its value is a function. So I need to give in the form of arrays. So let's see what it will give me. So const boom object equals to object dot from entries, and I'm giving this array. Array is holding some arrays. In that array, I have key and value. So let me run this. As you can see, I'm getting ID, name as same like this boom object, function, array, but I don't know what happened to this thing, address. It's storing array of arrays, but my intention is to have object or to this particular address, but this is not storing in this way, but it's storing in the form of array of arrays. So what I need to do here is I need to break this thing into a small object, and then I need to give here. So I need to do control X. I just did a cut. So I need to create const nested equals to object dot from entries. At this level, I need to give those things. So what this thing is happening, this is a small object having door number, area, pin code as keys and values like this. So I'll give this nested thing at here. So I need to remove this extra array what I am able to see here. So yeah, so I am putting this nested thing at this level. So now I can see my proper object format, something like this. So let me run this. So address is holding object. Previously I wrote array. Okay, let me do control Z. Previously how it was like okay, yeah, this is like this. Just because of it is like this, it's considering address key and value is an array and holding array of arrays. But that's not my intention. My intention is to have an object. So for that, what I did, I break it down into a small object nested by using this key value and using this object dot from entries, and I gave this nested at this level. So it's behaving the way I expected. like address and having object. So what if I put id comma 2? So what it's going to give me? So it's giving me id 1 only. But if I put something else, so will it going to take the rest of the thing? I mean, the second indexed value or just zeroth index and first index? See, it's not considering the extra things. So what if I don't give uh, it's only one element in the array? So how will it consider? So see, it's considering 2 as a key, and the second one is undefined because there is no first index for this thing. So there should be two indices. Zeroth index is for your key, first index is for your value. If you give 1, it takes only as key and the value is undefined. If you give 3 also, it considers only zeroth index and first index as key value pair. And this is one way of creating your object. So who will create like this? There might be a use case where you need to create in this way, but generally we write, I mean, we define at this level only. But what if we are getting API like this, array of arrays? Then we need to use in the form of object. Then there should be this thing which is object dot from entries, and we need to create our own object in the way we want and use that object. So this is one way. And one more thing, if you want to create object keys dynamically, so at this level I'm giving my name, this is fixed. Even at this level it's fixed. So if I want to create dynamically, what I can do is, I have my const boom already, right? So what I'll be doing, const uh, new key equals to, what I'll put is, I have my id, name, address. What else I can put? Country. Yeah, I have this thing. So what I can do is boom equals to, first I'm spreading my existed boom. So then I have all my existed things, and then what I'm doing is putting the square bracket new key colon India. So if I console my boom now, I'm able to see. Why I'm telling this is, this is a dynamic thing. If you give this thing directly country, it will be, you know, fixed. You can't change. But if you are storing in this new key, so then you can create any kind of key the way you want, because it's storing in this variable. So this might have country, this might have zone or whatever. So okay, let me show this one, console.log of boom. So always remember, it's good to spread at the top only. So yeah, why it's showing error? Assignment to constant variable, because I defined it like const, so I can't make it. So what I can do, let. So let, I can change within this. So I am able to see country India, because I predefinedly, it's like I know what's the key and I define. But if you are getting a key from the API, so you don't know what kind of key you get for your API call. So then you can store like this, the API response of that particular key in this variable, and then you can put square brackets new key. So then based on the API response, you will get a key and you will store it in a variable, and by using this square brackets, you're going to create the dynamic key and give the value for that particular thing. There is no change. So these are some basics of JavaScript object notation. So JSON is a pretty cool thing, because every API mostly gives you a JSON format, right? And mostly even we, as we are sending data to the API, we give in the format of JSON. So these are some of the basics. So the explanation what I made is opinionated. So if there is any suggestion kind of thing, there is something then click and clip for you. So that's it.
Hope you enjoyed the coding recipe, and the things that I have shared are completely opinionated. If there is any modification or improvement, please drop it down in the comment section, so I will learn from them. We all can cook happy codes. And don't forget to call the YouTube's API by clicking on the subscribe button. and make those two boolean values to true by clicking on the like icon and the bell icon. And thank you again. We all cook happy codes.